This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us to start your weekend. I'm Brittany Folkers, and topping headlines this morning, neighbors still in shock after a deadly shooting at a Vancouver apartment building. What we've learned about what led up to the tragedy. Plus, Governor Kate Brown orders a temporary ban on flavored vaping products. And that has some store owners wondering how they'll survive. Let's start things off, though, with a look at the weekend weather ahead. Chris, I'm hoping for some sunshine.
Well, you won't have to hope for much longer because we're actually going to realize that sunshine a bit later on today. Of course, sunrise still a ways away. Cloud cover, though, we still have some of that here, especially across western Washington. And radar actually showing a couple of sprinkles offshore here of the North Oregon coast and the South Washington coast. I can give you the live scan right now. Just off the Long Beach Peninsula, a couple of sprinkles showing up, and off the Tillamook coast as well. It's possible that one or two of these make their way inland, so the beach could see a sprinkle today. Maybe extreme southwest Washington sees a sprinkle early today, but I think most of us are pretty well done with the rain and weather improving literally hour by hour here as we roll through our Saturday. All right, it's 49 in downtown Portland. Chilly start to the day. 47 in Vancouver. Hillsboro down to 45 at last check, and as we go down into the Willamette Valley, it gets cooler still. Salem at 42, Almsville, Albany, all checking in at 42 degrees early on this Saturday morning. Again, the plan for today's sunrise at about 7:14. We are mostly clear at the airport with a 46-degree reading now. We should be partly to mostly sunny by lunchtime, and we finish off the day with sun and temperatures in the mid-60s. Brittany, it gets warmer from here for tomorrow. More on that coming up in just a bit.
Oh, loving that forecast. Thanks so much, Chris. Well, Oregon Governor Kate Brown calls it a public health crisis. She's ordered a temporary ban on the sale of flavored vaping products. The governor says the ban is necessary to combat the growing number of vaping-related lung illnesses, but not everyone is happy about the move. The CDC says vaping-related illnesses started to pick up this summer. More than 1,000 Americans have now become sick or died because of them. Most say they used products containing THC. So the FDA is urging people not to vape any marijuana products. The Oregon Health Authority reports 8 Oregonians have developed serious lung problems after vaping. 2 have even died. A spokesman said they do not know if anyone used flavored products. Marcus Nettles of Rose City Vapors says his products help people avoid traditional cigarettes and that some have stopped smoking altogether. He says the ban will force him out of business.
Flavored products are 80 to 90% of my business. It would be very hard to maintain and sustain any sort of income under that predicament. So it's a nail in the coffin.
The governor's order apparently caught some key agencies off guard. The Oregon Liquor Control Commission says it will meet next week to work on the ban, but it did not say when or how long that work is expected to take. Washington Governor Jay Inslee has also called for a ban on flavored vaping products, while the other states have already enacted bans. That includes Michigan, Massachusetts, and New York, although New York's ban was put on hold while the issue is hashed out in the courts. And we want you to weigh in this morning. We want to know, do you approve of Governor Brown's ban on flavored vaping products? You can see right now where our poll stands. 65% of you say yes, you do approve, but 35% say no, you don't. To vote, head to kgw.com/vote, or you can use our KGW app on your phone.
Major shock to wake up to. It didn't really sink in, it still, in a sense, hasn't really sunk in.
A community of senior citizens still in shock, and understandably so, after Thursday's shooting spree at a Vancouver apartment tower. It left 1 man dead and 2 women injured. The suspect, 80-year-old Robert Breck, was in court just yesterday, charged with murder and attempted murder. Court documents show Breck came out of the elevator into the apartment lobby and shot 2 residents, Dean Tunstall and Anelia Montoya, and a caregiver, Shauna Garris. Garris was Breck's caretaker at one time. According to documents, Breck had a feud with the group that started when he allegedly asked Garris to be his paid mistress. She refused, and he fired her.
Nobody ever dreamed in their wildest dreams that a tragedy like this would take place. You read about it all the time in the paper, you see it all over the national news, but when it hits the heart of the city, it hits it heavy.
There will be a candlelight vigil at Smith Tower tonight at 6 o'clock to honor Dean Tunstall's life and to bring the community together. The state of Oregon is withdrawing a request for surgery on 13-year-old cancer patient Kylie Dixon. Dixon is suffering from a rare form of liver cancer. The state withdrew its request because a cancer specialist in Portland is no longer available to perform surgery. The state is now looking for another physician who can remove the tumor. Last week, a judge postponed surgery for Dixon. Kylie has been in state foster care since June when her mother failed to follow a court order to bring her daughter in for prescribed medical treatment. Christina Dixon believes alternative treatment, including CBD oil, should be used on her daughter and to treat her cancer. Well, we now know the name of the woman who police say took a stolen mail truck on a wild ride that ended in a violent crash. This is 24-year-old Monique Cortez Munoz. She's in jail facing a slew of charges. Police say she stole the truck near 160th and Alder on Thursday and hit a TriMet Lyft bus. They say then she crashed the truck near Northeast Fremont and 155th, got out, and ran for 12 blocks before officers finally arrested her. Police say she appeared to be on drugs and was taken to the hospital. This next story is a blast from the past. So cool. A small crowd in Hillsboro had the chance to relive its middle school days after the unearthing of a time capsule. KGW's Mike Benner has our story.
Oh, yes, I do.
Inside R.A. Brown Middle School Friday night, a dozen or so people reminisce about the good old days at the Hillsboro school.
It's kind of fun.
And what better way to recall the memories than taking a look inside a time capsule from the late 80s.
And to look at this stuff, it's just, I guess everything old is new again, or new is old. And so it's fun to see it all.
Picture of you and I.
Just look at some of the things sprawled across 3 tables. Old cassette tapes, magazines, and letters from lawmakers.
I really love the news clippings. There's actually an article that somebody wrote about the AIDS epidemic that we were just kind of all learning about.
So where exactly was this time capsule all these years? For many years, it was buried in the courtyard on school property. Then it was dug up during a construction project, and it was lost inside the school building until just this past summer, when somebody brought it to the attention of the principal.
Awesome. I'm glad that the school held on to it.
You can't blame her for being excited. There were old photos and baseball cards. But then there was this, a tiny glass jar full of used chewing gum. Any of your old chewing gum in that jar?
If I put it in there, I don't remember. That's pretty gross, though.
Any of your old pieces of gum in that jar?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No doubt about it. A night these old friends won't soon forget.
To actually have found it is amazing.
In Hillsboro,
My favorite singers were David Bowie.
Mike Benner for KGW News.
Oh my gosh, that's just such a cool story. I loved, looking back and having that time capsule. It's so cool. Well, a big weekend for runners in Portland. This Sunday is the Portland Marathon. It starts at 7:10 a.m. with a brand new course and brand new organizers. And even if you're not a runner, you can win something too. The marathon runs through 20 Portland neighborhoods and across 3 Portland bridges. And get this, the top 5 neighborhoods will win real cash prizes. That's right, there's $3,000 up for grabs for the best neighborhood cheering sections voted on by the runners.
Running a marathon is a huge achievement, and getting through the event is really difficult. There's moments when you're really doubting your choices, and it's painful to keep going, and so it's really great when people are out there cheering for you.
It is such motivation, and there's some good news for those runners. No backups at train crossings. Union Pacific trains won't be running until noon.